The New World Springtide event has been updated on the PTR and I've already finished it, and we've got some new patterns to show you. I'll jump straight into the game and show you the patterns, then we'll talk about the event and actually what else is in the patch notes towards the end. As I said, I've maxed out the reputation of this event, which has allowed me to buy these patterns. They are now on New World database, so probably didn't need to do this, but I did it anyway. And if I show you in game, you can see that I've got some patterns here. And they're pretty much all the same 3 perks, right? So whatever you pick, whatever it is, you can see there's 3 perks. Physical aversion, refreshing, and then a mystery 3rd perk. Now my question here was, is this going to be like the summer event, where it's more likely to be resilient, or is it going to be something else? I thought maybe it'd be like the summer one because of the physical version. I'm pretty sure the summer one might be elemental version. Don't quote me on that. Anyway, if I jump onto New World database, you can see it's already updated on the PTR. And if we scroll down and we look at perk buckets, well, there are 2 most popular perk buckets. One of them is going to be resilient at about 25% and sturdy energy at also 25%. Not quite, but near enough. Obviously, you can get all different kinds of stuff, right? We're not going to go through. So this is very interesting. Just to confirm what I already thought, the summer version of this is elemental aversion and refreshing, whereas this one is physical, as we can see here. Now, unfortunately, probably moving into a mage meta, the elemental aversion is possibly going to be a bit better, right? However, we've seen massive meta changes. I think these are going to be worth getting and going to be worth farming. However, you're going to actually need to farm these. I know, radical, right? So whilst there are joyous piles of gifts in towns like this, they don't actually give you any reputation, or at least it didn't seem to give you reputation in my opinion. You do get these wispy sprits, which are very good though. You're going to need those, or you can craft them. And it's like any other event, right? There's other places on the map, you know, the 4 classic places, and we'll just pop over to them. And there's a quest that when you get there, you do a quest. The music here and everything sounds great. Minor spoilers here, I guess. Technically, I should have said that, but minor spoilers. If you're not interested in this, you come to this person, you speak about the quest, but I'll just quickly show you. Obviously, we've got the store in place here. This one's quite useful, right? This middle one, the Springtide wafer, because that's actually going to give you more wispy blooms, and you're going to need those to get your reputation up. I will check these green patterns in a minute. I'm going to check what perks you get with those. Just looked on New World database. Honestly, you get all different kinds of perks. They're probably quite handy to craft with. Resilience is 16%, for example, but there's quite a few different things on there. Of course, you get your emotes and your skins and stuff like that, your housing items, Springtide banner, but obviously you get the patterns for 1 premium each, and we've just sort of seen what they are. But you're going to have to actually get the reputation. Yes, you get a little bit doing the quest, but the only way that I've seen that you actually get that reputation is by coming to here and going to these little sort of caravan huts where you convert your stuff, and you need to convert the stuff you get from the event. So you come to these, you actually convert your like event materials into these tokens, and that gives you event reputation. That's the only way that I found to get your reputation up. Those spritzy things that we got from the Christmas pile, you can actually craft, and the materials aren't that bad, and you craft quite a lot of them. But you come to this part of the map, or this part of the event, and you come to the wispy spritz station, and it's sort of relatively cheap, right? It's just some fibers, some honey, and some fire malt, and you don't just get 1. I think you get quite a lot when you craft it. 8, I think. There you go, you can see. Now, where are the events? Well, they're a little bit of a pain in the backside to find because they don't actually show on the map unless you're quite close. However, you can sometimes see them in the sky. Now that sounds weird, but let me actually go to a different place where I know there are some. I'm going to go to the one up here in Brightwood, and you can see when we get close by, there are these little roses or flowers on the map. And actually, if I get close to one, you will see something in the air that sort of gives it away. Actually, there you can see this little like dust cloud. This basically gives it away, but obviously you can look on the map as well. You do have to be relatively close to see them though. I'm not sure why they've done that, it just is the way it is. Now personally, I find the way you do this event to be a little bit annoying. So basically you have this little spritz, and I'm going to kill the mob here first before we start. The mob just gets in the way, and I don't think I'm actually going to be able to kill him, but basically you have these. Oh, okay, let's pull the mob away and I'll kill the mob independently. Hopefully these little things, oh, they are, okay, they're going to back off, okay. Oh no, they're going to chase me. So these little 3 spritzy things, they do quite a lot of damage. Like if I just stand here and let them attack me, they do quite a lot of damage, right? And you can't really do anything to them. Like you do a little bit of damage, but not really worth, right? So what you have to do is with those sprits, you need to come over to these things, you need to quickly plant one, then effectively lure these 3 things towards you, and then the thing explodes, right? So you do this, and you basically have to do this 3 times to explode them. You might be able to stealth it, but I didn't even trigger that one. You might be able to stealth it, but I really have tried a couple of times and it hasn't quite worked. Sometimes you miss doing the damage on one of them and you have to use 4, but you know, because sometimes they're not like very quick to coming towards you, but it is what it is. Oh, that's handy. These little things sometimes drop this wispy wasp goo. This also can be handed in for reputation, so you definitely want to be taking this. And then obviously you just come to the thing in the middle, which is the wispy bloom. Now if I had that food on, I would get higher amounts of this, right, which obviously is what you're going to want to hand in to get the reputation. So that's it. This is literally the event. I've not found any other way of doing this. You just come to these, you do that little mini game that we just saw, you go back and you hand it in and you get your reputation. There is nothing more to it than that. And it looks like the trees in each town just give you like sprits or tokens. They don't appear to give you reputation. Now maybe that'll change, or maybe that's wrong, but that's the way that it is. Now for me, I've actually been crashing a little bit on the PTR. Sometimes when I've been running from place to place, it's been crashing. I think typically it might be crashing when I've collected the bloom and it's not yet gave it me, because it sort of doesn't give it you instantly. For some reason that is actually slightly crashing it. And honestly, that's all there is to this event, or at least that's all I have found to this event. You know, there is no new trade skill or anything like that I've found. Everything seems pretty much as normal. We will not dawdle too long on the patch notes. Suffice to say, the springtime event is here. They've fixed a couple of things here, nothing really amazing. They've swapped when you get the XP trophy for the seasons, so you get it in season 4, so you can then use it to get season 5. I like that, that's a good little change. They've updated the 300 con bonus to specify that it only applies to melee basic attack, so not ranged. However, they have now added grit to the void blade basic attack as well, whilst at 300 con. Some fixes for some weapons, I don't really think amazing there. They've added furniture schematics to the end cap seasonal quest. So we made a video about this yesterday, but it is huge. A lot of people are worried that it'll affect crafting. Basically, they're confirming here what you're going to be able to turn from epic to legendary. So we knew that you were always able to do Conqueror's weapons from Outpost Rush, right? But they're now confirming that it's going to be the war rewards, the invasion and the outpost rush, the armor and the weapons. Well, and trinkets for here as well. I didn't actually realize trinkets were going to be included. So anything with these names for outpost rush, Conqueror's weapons, we know they can be upgraded, but now the Russia armor, that will also be upgraded. I'm not 100% sure if it will backwards work. I'm personally just holding onto my chest. If you want to open them and then look at the gear, fair enough, you do you, right? It is your call. So while the meta is probably moving away from physical aversion, and we're going probably elemental aversion, I do think that that might be something that we want to get now, and you might want to craft it now and just hold on to, right? Not best in slot maybe by any imagination, but with the ever-changing meta, that's going to be some really decent 3 perk items if you roll resilient, and you're going to get resilient 1 in 4, and once you get to that max rep, well then it doesn't cost that much, it's only the materials you need. But 1 in 4 of getting the PvP item you want is a lot better than the normal crafting. Combine that with the outpost rush, yeah, things are looking a little bit easier to gear, so I'm personally going to farm them. It doesn't take too long. I think the patch was only available for download a couple of hours ago, and I farmed it and got all the materials and stuff like that in that time, so really not that bad. If you want to support me and help me grow the channel, becoming a YouTube member is truly the best way. Otherwise you can come and follow me over on Twitch. I was going to stream today, but I thought I would grind the hell out of this and make this video. What you should definitely do though is have a most beautiful day, like and subscribe. Goodbye.